right, Sama, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahud. That's Hero Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sects of time. All right, this lesson is going to be entitled, The Flesh is a MFer. In parentheses, don't quit. The flesh is an MFer. In parentheses, don't quit. All right, this is an impromptu lesson. All right, in transit. The Spirit just motivated me to just jump on these different topics pertaining to the flesh. All right, being ultimately trial and error. Okay, as it is written, this is Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. 7 going into a complete amount. So you're going to ultimately go through trial and error in this flesh till the Lord perfects you, till the Lord makes you complete. All right, if we be of that number, Aparatazah. All right, and rise it up again. The point, you rise it up again. How do you rise up again in these scriptures? And sound doctrine, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because this flesh can and will try to get the best of you, man. It will every day. Every second throughout the day, even in your thoughts, the scriptures tell you that a foolish thought is sin. So we need the Lord to intervene. All right? It's hell. You catching hell. Fines and payments, bills. All right? Stress. Trying to make ends meet, and ultimately trying to have a balance, because you know Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will weigh it all and take care of you if you do his will. All right, that's why I entitled the lesson, This Flesh is an MF, because it's corruptible, man. It's material. All right, we can't take it with us, but ultimately we have to suffer in it. All right, in these chains of darkness. So it says, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. That's right, man. So a just man will fall 7 times and get up again and return unto the Most High and repent. All right. But the wicked will fall into mischief, fall into more and more folly, a downward spiral. All right. So, and the scriptures even tell you, man, that ultimately spirit is willing and this flesh is weak. This is Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray. Palal wa shamar. All right, Shamar wa Palal. Pray and watch and pray. If you're not watching, you should be praying. If you're not praying, you should be watching. This is a very highly evil time that we're in. And the flesh will try to take advantage of these times that we're in, man. All right? This material that hosts our ultimate spirit, man. The spirit is willing. It wants to do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because it's been created by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to do exactly that, to do the will of the Father and not deter from it. But the flesh wants to seek lust and sin. All right? And if you follow after the flesh, you'll be likened unto that. So it says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see? The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. That's why it's a constant battle. It's a struggle, like a tug of war. You have the flesh on one side and you have the spirit on one side. All right. But you can't let the flesh be ultimately pulling the spirit to where it's almost dragging it through the mud, man. All right. It's overcoming it. No, you have to let the spirit overrule the flesh. You have to let the spirit guide the flesh, or else you'll be overtaken. So this is Matthew 26:41. Let's see if there's something in the NLT. It says, keep watch and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. Right? Giving into it. Right? Because you'll be put through different tests. But giving into it, the Lord is going to make a way that you escape. Tells you that, I believe, in 1 Corinthians 10:13. All right? Well, with that temptation, the Lord will have a way for you to escape. Don't say when you're tempted, all right, you're tempted of the Lord, because ultimately the Lord gives you a way to escape, which is the scriptures. All right? Which we meditate on so we can make better decisions and not let the flesh make the decisions. You can't let the flesh be in the driver's seat, man. You got to let the Spirit drive you. And the Spirit has to motivate you. All right? Not the flesh. Because if you're motivated by the flesh all day, you'll just be a numbskull. You won't be able to make good decisions. You'll be driven by youthful lust. The scriptures tells us to flee those things, man. You'll be driven by these things, and they'll be making all the decisions, and your life will turn into fleshly decisions. The makeup of your life will become a decision that you made in the flesh. All right? Or a fleshly decision. Matthew 26:41. Keep watch and pray so that you will not give into temptation, for the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. That's right. The flesh, the body is weak, right? The body tells you when you wake up in the morning, you got to eat something. All right? The body tells you when you feel a certain urge, you have to fulfill it. Like there's a saying in the world, all right, when people give in to their urges or their lusts, they say, oh, I gotta scratch that itch, right? That's a saying in the world when people want to give over to their bodily lust. But ultimately, we're given over unto this truth, the scriptures, man. You have to totally devour, like swallow down wisdom, understanding, to ultimately think clearly in these chains of darkness. Because if you don't, then you'll just be walking around like they'll even say it in the world, think with your rod, man. You're thinking with your rod. You're thinking with your junk, man. You know? In other words, you're letting your body make the decisions and not your spirit, man. All right? So ultimately, I entitled this lesson, The Flesh is an MFer, because it is, man. Every day it's a constant struggle, daily struggles, but we're given a solution, but at the same time, you have to fight. All right? Stood so stiffly, that's what the Lord is looking for. Stood stiffly meaning what? You stood your grounds. Like they have a law that says you stood your grounds. All right? You met that force with force. The scriptures tells us that our head is as hard as adamant against theirs, man. Our head is hard against theirs. So that's likened on to how our spirit should be hard against the flesh. You got to be rooted in self-discipline. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. All right? Because you got to rule yourself. Because if you can't rule yourself, how are you going to rule in Yahweh Shemi Shai's house? So it starts with ourselves first and foremost. You got to practice self-discipline. You got to restrict certain things. And I mean, think about it. Me and the brothers were talking about the food in the society. It's like you wake up in the morning like, what do you eat? Like they're corrupting and poisoning everything. So you literally have to refine your mindset and your diet, just for example, to be picky. Okay, well, I'm going to eat only these certain things. I'm going to eat at this certain time. And then it's going to produce the results of that. Right? So don't quit. Don't give up just because you've been given a mighty task. No, you're going to be given a mighty reward. Don't give up. Don't quit. All right? These scriptures comfort us. This is Isaiah 51:14. The captive, in which we're all captives. You so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, the house of Israel, we're captives. We're POW. We're prisoners of war in the society. Wherever we may be scattered, if you are of the nation of Israel, you are under the curses pertaining to the book of Deuteronomy. All right? You are in this flesh. But to overcome it is to let your spirit rule. Isaiah 51:14, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. What's our bread? The scriptures. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. All right? The role. Scriptures tell us swallow down wisdom, devour understanding. These scriptures is our bread. What's this pit? America, man. Hell, this low place. What do they say? It's a black man's hell, white man's heaven. This low place, this pit of slavery. All right? We ask the Lord, how long, Lord? Avenge us. For you are worthy of ruling and governing the planet Earth, O Lord. Show yourself, O Lord. Please. Babu Kusha, Babu Kusha, Babu Kusha. We ask these things and wait for our release date, man, unto the Lord, to deliver us from these chains of darkness and this flesh that constantly plagues our minds. You get in different situations where you have to literally watch the things you say, watch how you say it, even watch the faces you make. Because some people will antagonize you just by off your gestures or how you look a certain way. All right? So sometimes you have to keep the mindset, well, really all the time in this society, if you're of the elect, all right? You can't let the society see you sweat. So you got to constantly be battling your flesh with self-denial. Restrict yourself from things. Don't be the same person you were yesterday. You fall, get up again, but don't quit. Just because you've been given a big responsibility, the scriptures tell you for whom much is given, much is required. The bigger the responsibility, the mightier the man. We got to own up to it and step up to the plate. All right? It says that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. That's right. Give us this day our daily bread, man. All right? We ultimately want this because this is ultimately what we have, all we have. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the scriptures is all we have to battle the flesh. Because if you don't have these guidelines and tell you what to do, you'll just be lost in the sauce, man. You'll be lost out there. And the Lord will ultimately give you over to these strong delusions that are out here, and these seducing spirits that are ruling. Like the scriptures tell you, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Let me get that real quick. I ended off on that. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle, I'm going to start at 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. That's right, the whole armor. Faith, righteousness, hope, all right? The breastplate, the helmet, the shield, and buckler, all right? All those things you have to put on to conquer this flesh. All those things you have to guard yourself with in order to stop these fiery darts of the wicked, man, that they're shooting at us, trying to get us to go off, trying to get us to be in a mindset to where we're like sadaisical, we get lazy. No, don't quit. Battle, fight back. Go into that corner like in a boxing match, all right? Get rejuvenated in the scriptures. Get the water, the rivers of living water, all right? Catch your breath and get back in the match. All right? Don't quit. Don't give up. All right? It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And I want to see if there's something on that in the NLT. All right? Because we know who the prince of the air is. We wrestle against, all right, the spiritual demon Satan and his physical counterpart, which is Esau, Edom. All right? The rulers of this world who operate in the shadow of darkness. Wizardry, sorcery, witchcraft. This is Ephesians 6 and 12 in the NLT. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies. So we're fighting. We have unseen enemies and we have unseen allies, man. All right? We have unseen enemies and unseen allies, right? We have unseen friends and unseen foes. And those foes ultimately work for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. So it says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places, you see? So there's evil spirits in the heavenly places, man, that the Lord controls to chastise us. Paul, I know, right? I do not know you. We rather be known by these different principalities and fighting back on the righteous side than to just be taken over by these spirits, man. All right? And in complete darkness. All right? We rather be the light to blot out that darkness. All right, so this flesh is an MF, don't quit. Lord willing, this message was edifying. It was just impromptu, just on my spirit. All right, the captive hasted that he may be loose and that he should not die in this pit. And Lord willing, from the apostles on down to the least of us, I'm one of those numbers. All right, double honors to the apostles, my teachers. Till next time, Kwame Ashala, Shalom.